Breaking news from Washington. A federal investigation has just been launched that could completely transform how millions of Americans receive their Social Security benefits. The Department of Homeland Security is targeting a controversial program, and it might affect you or someone you know. In this video, you'll discover exactly what this new investigation targets, why the Trump administration is taking action, and how it could impact Social Security recipients across the country. Stay tuned to learn what steps you should take to protect your benefits. Welcome to Financial Area, where we break down complex financial news that affects your wallet. If you find this information valuable, hit that like button and subscribe to stay informed on the latest developments affecting your financial future. The Trump administration has just initiated a major federal investigation through the Department of Homeland Security that has sent shockwaves through benefit programs nationwide. At the center of this probe is California's Cash Assistance Program for Immigrants, known as CAPI, which provides support similar to supplemental security income for certain legal immigrants who don't qualify for federal assistance. The investigation represents a significant shift in how the federal government is approaching oversight of Social Security-related benefits, with a particular focus on ensuring that these critical resources are distributed only to eligible recipients. According to sources familiar with the investigation, DHS officials have expressed concerns about potential misuse of the program and are determined to enforce stronger verification measures. The Department of Homeland Security didn't mince words in their announcement, stating that the integrity of our public benefit systems is non-negotiable and that every dollar must reach its intended recipient according to established law. The probe specifically targets Los Angeles County, where DHS has issued a formal subpoena demanding records related to benefit distribution, eligibility verification procedures, and recipient documentation over the past 3 years. California officials have responded with measured caution, acknowledging the legitimate need for program integrity while expressing concern about potential impacts on vulnerable populations. Governor's office representatives emphasize that California remains committed to lawful administration of all benefit programs while protecting the dignity of every resident. To understand why this investigation matters, we need to look at what CAPI actually is and how it operates. The program was established in 1998 following federal welfare reforms that restricted certain legal immigrants from receiving federal SSI benefits. CAPI essentially stepped in to fill this gap, providing monthly cash benefits to elderly, blind, or disabled legal immigrants who are ineligible for SSI due solely to their immigration status. Currently, CAPI serves approximately 12,000 Californians with a state budget allocation of nearly $152 million annually. The program requires recipients to be California residents who are either over 65, blind, or disabled, and who would otherwise qualify for SSI except for their immigration status. Importantly, recipients must be lawfully present in the United States under specific categories outlined in state legislation. What's brought CAPI under intense scrutiny are allegations that program administrators may not be adequately verifying immigration status in all cases, potentially allowing undocumented individuals to receive benefits contrary to program requirements. The DHS investigation appears to have been triggered by preliminary findings suggesting documentation discrepancies in certain cases. The subpoena issued to Los Angeles County specifically requests individual case files, internal memos regarding eligibility determinations, and communications between program administrators about implementation of verification protocols. County officials have been given 30 days to produce these records or face potential legal consequences. This investigation has sparked intense debate about the relationship between federal and state authorities when it comes to benefit programs. While CAPI is funded entirely by state money, the Trump administration contends that all public assistance programs must align with federal immigration enforcement priorities, regardless of funding source. Legal experts suggest this represents a significant test case for state autonomy in designing support programs for vulnerable populations. One key question being raised is whether state-funded programs like CAPI can operate independently from federal regulations regarding immigration status verification. Community organizations serving immigrant populations have expressed concern that the investigation could create a chilling effect, discouraging even eligible immigrants from seeking assistance they're legally entitled to receive. Advocacy groups point out that many mixed-status families might withdraw from essential support programs out of fear, potentially creating hardship for elderly and disabled legal residents. The administration has countered these concerns by emphasizing that the investigation targets program administration rather than individual recipients, and that properly eligible beneficiaries have nothing to fear. Officials have stated that their goal is to ensure consistent application of eligibility standards across all jurisdictions. So, what does this mean if you, or someone you know, receives Social Security benefits or similar assistance? First and foremost, regular Social Security retirement and disability benefits are not directly targeted by this investigation. However, the probe could signal increased scrutiny of documentation across multiple benefit programs in the future. If you receive SSI or state supplemental benefits, it's always wise to ensure your records are completely up to date and accurate. This includes maintaining copies of all eligibility documentation, promptly reporting any changes in circumstances, and responding quickly to any requests for information from program administrators. For CAPI recipients specifically, the investigation doesn't immediately change benefit distribution. However, it would be prudent to organize all documentation establishing legal presence in the United States and program eligibility. If you're concerned about your status, consider consulting with a benefits counselor at a community service organization familiar with immigrant benefit programs. The timeline for this investigation remains somewhat unclear, though DHS officials have indicated they expect to complete their initial review within 90 days. Depending on findings, this could potentially lead to new federal guidelines for state-administered programs or even legislative proposals to standardize eligibility verification across programs. Looking at the bigger picture, this investigation highlights the ongoing tension between strict enforcement of program requirements and ensuring vulnerable populations can access necessary support. For Social Security programs broadly, maintaining public confidence through program integrity measures is essential for long-term sustainability. However, experts note that benefit fraud rates in most assistance programs are actually quite low, typically less than 3% according to government accountability studies. This raises important questions about balancing the costs of intensive enforcement against the potential harm of deterring eligible recipients from seeking assistance. The outcome of this investigation could have far-reaching implications for how Social Security-related benefits are administered nationwide. It represents the Trump administration's continued focus on aligning immigration enforcement with public benefit distribution, a policy direction that began during his first term and appears to be accelerating in his second. As developments continue to unfold, we'll keep you updated with the latest information on how this investigation progresses and what it might mean for benefit recipients across the country. Remember that knowledge is your best protection when navigating complex benefit systems. What are your thoughts on this investigation? Do you believe stricter verification serves an important purpose, or are you concerned about impacts on vulnerable populations? Share your perspective in the comments below. Thanks for watching Financial Area. If you found this information valuable, please hit that like button and subscribe for more critical updates on financial policies that affect everyday Americans. And don't forget to tap the notification bell so you never miss our latest videos. Until next time, stay informed and financially secure.